So after my last video where I talked about the United States censoring schools and omitting historic events from school textbooks, I've gotten a lot of comments like these ones saying, well, we were taught these events in class, and therefore everyone was taught these events in class. What I need you to realize is that when it comes to education in America, it's basically 50 separate countries in a trench coat. Every state has its own standards around what does get taught and what doesn't, and the differences are way bigger than most Americans realize. If you want a concrete example of this, I would say you should look at the two most populous states, Texas and California. Both of them are so large they can commission their own textbooks, completely to their own liking. If you take a history book from California and read about American history, you're going to get a detailed breakdown of both the good and the bad, and this includes things like the military atrocities at Abu Ghraib. But if you get the exact same textbook from Texas, with the same author and the same publisher, state review boards force publishers to scrub out all of those parts. This applies to everything from the Civil War to the My Lai massacre and other atrocities America's played a role in. What makes this even more complicated is that in addition to these customized state textbooks, there are over 13,000 independent school districts setting their own curricula. That means that even if your state adopts the full textbook and that does not omit any of these events, your local school board can still design a curriculum that skips over those sections entirely. On top of that, you need to factor in religious schools and homeschooling, which have far more lenient standards than public schools. With homeschooling in particular, most states have no meaningful content standards, and over half the country, there is zero requirement for any sort of academic testing, which allows students to graduate high school without ever opening a history textbook. So when I talk about the failures of American education, it's important to not treat your own experiences as universal. Just because you feel you got a complete education does not mean your peers in another school did. Anyway, let me know in the comments what major historical events your school didn't cover, and whether you think schools should be allowed to omit entire sections like this.